Rams fans, welcome in on this edition of Rams Showcase. The Rams at a corner, and it's a good one. Plus, playoff picture is in the early stages of coming into focus. Let's see where the Rams sit. And later, back after the bye, we preview Saints at Rams. Let's rock.
We here, man. We gotta take advantage of victory on one. Let's go.
This is Rams Showcase. And now your host, Sheriff Joe Baggs.
Yes, well, good Rams Showcase. My name's Sheriff Joe Baggs, at Sheriff Joe Baggs, at Rams Showcase, ramshowcase.com. That's where you follow along on the internet. Shout out Summer Justice, helping out on the intro there. All the social links in the description below. Be sure to check her out. Absolutely awesome. I have mad amounts of respect for Summer Justice. Former co-worker of mine, the radio station. Good people. Absolutely good stuff. We got to get Rams House back on there, man. I feel like it's been a while since Rams House has come back up on the cycle there. He even sent me new audio. I gotta figure that one out. We'll just go ahead and put it next week, dude. I got you. All right. Lots of action to get into as Rams coming off the bye week. Obviously, last week, the lamest possible week of all. Not only did the Rams not play any football, but we had one-score game of the entire NFL slate. Whole bag of bummers. The only good game we had in the last week and during the Rams bye week was Jets-Bengals. Whoa, NFL, that's not good news, it doesn't feel like. But either way, we're back in action this week. Probably get some really solid games this week, right, to make up for all that mess. Not only one good game the whole weekend. Kind of bummed me out. I'll be completely honest. I'm a little bit bitter about it because it's like if the Rams are going to be off, I at least want to just like catch some crazy action. You know what I mean? And I'm like sitting there at the bar just like, there's not a good game on right now, dude. Like, it's kind of a bummer, man. So hopefully we'll get some good action. But, of course, coming back after the bye week, a little rested, or maybe a little bit slightly more banged up due to Atwell going to IR and stuff like that. But we'll get into the full game preview on the back end here in a little bit. But first, obviously, we got to talk about the news. And the most important piece of news heading into this week is going to be the new addition for the Rams, trade. Alongside with the Tennessee Titans. So the LA Rams receive cornerback Roger McCreary as well as a 6th-round pick, and the Titans do receive a 5th-round pick. Those are conditional picks, so they could be slipping in at different areas depending on how things fall apart. I didn't totally dive into the details. Effectively, though, we get Roger McCreary to drop from the 5th to the 6th round. I think we'll be okay. It'll be just fine there. McCreary also, by the way, wearing number 35, most recently worn by running back Jarquez Hunter. Other recent notables would include Jake Hummel. We had C.J. Anderson, Kareem Orr rocked 35 for a little bit. Some of my personal favorites, some of who I think are some of just the best 35s out there. Sam Congato, anybody? What's up? Corey Ivy? Dude, Corey Ivy? Kevin Dockery, bro? Are you kidding me right now? But also, obviously, the big names there would be Aeneas Williams and Keith Lyle, probably the best 35s in Rams history. But, I'm just saying, what if McCreary comes in and solidifies that spot? Either way. On the season so far for McCreary, 1 pick on the year. That was in week 1 versus the Denver Broncos. Great pick, honestly. The way that play kind of unfolded, awesome stuff to see out of Roger, the newest Ram. Versus the Rams in week 2, he had 1 pass deflected and 7 combined tackles, 3 solo. Roger McCreary is in his 4th NFL season out of Auburn. He was the 35th overall pick in 2022. He will be a UFA at the end of this season. So really, worst case scenario, the Rams bring in Roger McCreary. It doesn't seem to be a fit. You fall from the 5th round to the 6th round, but you get a corner in a room that you need, some extra talent in. And I think that Roger McCreary comes in and immediately is one of our best corners talent-wise. We'll see how he kind of fits in with the scheme and all that. But worst case scenario, you get 10 games out of him. Hopefully we play more than that, but you get 10 games out of him. You fall back one round, and then you just let him walk. Kind of just wash your hands of it. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? But also, on the plus side of that, or negative, depending on your perspective, I suppose, is that he comes in and is awesome, and you sign him to his 2nd NFL contract, and you keep him long-term in hopefully a role that he fits into really, really well. So, obviously, that's kind of a topic to explore as the season goes on, and of course, something that we'll hit when we get to, like, February and March, when that conversation is going to be really, full throat, really, is when we'll be talking about our UFAs and who's possibly coming back. What we're looking for, or what we're looking at on McCreary's fourth year, which is the contract that the Rams have taken over. He had the level 2 PPE, so that performance escalator, meaning that he makes equal to the first right of refusal tender at his position plus $250,000. That is getting a little bit into the weeds because obviously the performance escalators for rounds 2 through 7, they can change. The level 1 can only there's like certain aspects of it that only triggers for second round picks, and then it's got to be different for these guys and stuff like that. And he didn't get to the level 3 PPE, just the level 2. So that's where the first right of refusal tender comes in, and then plus the $25,000. So that's what he is on this year. That's what the Rams are responsible for the remainder of the season. The cap hit is about a little over $2 million. He's coming back off of what could very well depend, or coming back could very well depend on how he looks for the rest of this season. So I think ultimately what I'm trying to say is we brought in a very talented cornerback to help out the defense, but also let's wait and see. Let's give him a chance to perform in this defense and kind of see where he actually can fit in to what this Rams defense does. I think based on knowing him over these last few years, watching him play for Tennessee, I do think that will be a solid addition, but I also think that we'll probably ease into it. So if we don't get a lot of action out of Roger McCreary against the Saints, that by no means means that the Rams have no purpose for him or going to use him, anything like that. We've got to let it unfold and kind of see where he is slipping in and fitting into this defense. And we also have Ahkello Witherspoon returning at some point. That's kind of a little bit later. I think we're all kind of ballparking mid-December for a possible Ahkello return. His injury is like roughly a 10-week kind of deal. Obviously, every human body is a little bit different. People can heal faster. People can heal slower. You can hit setbacks, all that good stuff. So we'll see what happens. But Rams needed a corner, and I think Roger McCreary coming in is a really solid addition to this room specifically. So that's obviously good news. And with the trade being minimal assets, I mean, that's worst case scenario. It kind of feels like we just kind of let him walk, and all we did was drop around to add to a room for 10 games. Hopefully, more like 13, 14 games. that's kind of the plan. But cornerback, it's also very difficult to evaluate. So I think that from the Rams fan perspective, it'll be very difficult for us to get to week 17, 18, and then also be able to say like, oh yeah, we absolutely have to keep him. He fits in so well, or we cannot keep him. He doesn't fit in. Because it's also like Emmanuel Forbes came in to the Rams midseason and pretty much didn't get used at all. And then it was kind of a known thing of like offseason coming into this year. Now he's actually going to be part of the defense, which could be the path for Roger McCreary, depending on how the Rams feel about keeping him long term. So something to keep our eyes on for sure. I wouldn't be completely surprised. Again, like I said, if he doesn't play at all against the New Orleans Saints, I wouldn't be surprised at him being inactive. If he is active, I wouldn't be surprised one bit to see him very, very limited, in a sense where it's like if we know it's going to be a man play, it's like, hey, go take that guy. You're on Brandon Cooks this play. Just don't let him get out of your sights. You know what I'm saying? That's an easy thing to coach. But when you're trying to talk about the nuances about, okay, if you see this, then that means Cam Curl's going to do this. Lake is going to do this. That means also you could do this. Like, you have the freedom to do this. Or if you see this, you can, like, all that stuff comes in time. You don't just get traded. It's not Madden where you can just drop a guy into whatever system you want to and he just knows it flawlessly. You know what I mean? So it's real life here, and we'll see how he fits in. I'm very excited about Roger McCreary. I know that much. No reason not to be. I mean, he's an awesome player. So I do think that the Rams blatantly got better in that room, I think by a margin. I think that he, even if you include like Ahkello Witherspoon, I think the Rams definitely made an improvement at the cornerback room. Something that we kind of knew coming into the season was a position that we at least need to keep our eyeballs on in some capacity, that it could be a little bit of a liability. It has shown to be that in some games, but also these last, two into 3 games before the bye week, Rams defense has been playing awesome, and I think the corners have played great. Their best game was against the Jags in London. Obviously, that's a much more difficult evaluation, considering like Brian Thomas Jr. hasn't really gotten going. Travis Hunter really got incorporated into the offense then. So that was kind of a hard thing to plan for and be able to adjust for in just one game, especially in a game that you were just kind of beating the butt cheeks off a team. So not a lot of attention was like, we got to stop this guy. Otherwise it was just like one of those things like, okay, we'll watch him. watch him a little close. I think he's kind of getting us right now. Went over 100 and stuff. So all that good stuff. But what I end this by saying, okay, I had no predictions of a corner getting traded to the Rams or not getting traded to the Rams, whatever. I like to wait until we see what happens. And now I get to just talk about how excited I am for Roger McCreary, dude. Number 35 in the Rams defense. I'm so pumped to see what this guy brings to us. And again, I think it'll be probably after that Seattle game, so in a few more weeks, that we really start seeing McCreary be incorporated into the defense in a way that we can expect to see him incorporated into the defense for the rest of the year, if that makes any sense. Moving on, we are finally starting to dive into a little bit of playoff picture stuff, all right? So it is still a very foggy vision that we're looking at when it comes to the playoff picture, but it's slightly starting to get into focus. We're starting to at least understand who's good, who's terrible, who's going to be potentially fighting for some of the wild card spots, all that stuff. The divisions are kind of starting to shake out a little bit. You're starting to see who's good, who's beating who, all that good stuff. Obviously, lots can happen. There are some beat-up teams. There are some teams that are going to get beat up. Hopefully, we're not one of them. But obviously, plenty of action to go as the Rams, 10 games left. So, obviously, it's a lot of business, man. There's a lot of business to be had right now, and anything can happen for sure. But let's take a look at the playoff picture here. Your standings in the NFC. The Green Bay Packers sitting at the number 1 seed, 5-1-1. They did win versus the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday Night Football, beating Aaron Rodgers. They'll play the Panthers, the Eagles, the Giants, and then take on all 3 of their division opponents. So no easy road for the Green Bay Packers, I'll tell you that much. Philadelphia Eagles sit in second place right now, 6-2 record. They won against the Giants this last week. They got a bye week. Packers, Lions, and then Cowboys. So nothing too nuts there, but definitely some really good football teams on their schedule. The Bucs sitting in third, 6-2. They won against the Saints. They're on a bye week this week. Then it's Patriots, the Bills, and then your Los Angeles Rams. Seahawks are your final division leader at this time, a 5-2 record. They were on a bye this last week. They'll play Washington, Arizona, and then your Los Angeles Rams. Your wild card teams, we'll go ahead and start with the final wild card team, which is the 49ers right now, sitting at the 7th seed, 5-3 record. They lost to Houston. They'll play the Giants, the Rams, and then the Cardinals. And right now, if the season were to end, they'd be taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The LA Rams, 5-2. They were on their bye week. Play the Saints, Niners, and then the Seahawks. Right now, if the season ended, they'd be playing at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last time we played a playoff game there, it went well. And the Detroit Lions, also 5-2. They have their bye week. They'll play the Vikings, the Commanders, and then the Philadelphia Eagles. Right now, if the season ended, they'd be playing the Seattle Seahawks. So, obviously, we're excited because Rams look like a pretty dang good football team. Only 2 losses on the year. One of those to the current number 2 seed. And in a game where, in fairness, like, you definitely got to be able to close that out. But looked really, really good for a large portion of that game. And I know that doesn't win you anything. But still, I mean, it feels like if we had to play the Philadelphia Eagles again, we at least have an idea of like, okay, we can do these kind of things to them. We can attack them here. We just got to make sure we shut them down, And then obviously, the other loss being an overtime loss to a division opponent on a Thursday night game. So hard to really take that into consideration as far as like heavy weighted stuff. Like obviously, it is a loss that counts as a loss, all that stuff. But when you're looking at the Rams, 5-2 record and how it's come about. I mean, you've beaten good teams. You've beaten, the Colts and Texans. I think are really solid. I know that they don't get a lot of love right now, but so you've played some good football, and the 2 you lost are games where you're like, oh man, a couple things change, and we probably win that game. You know what I mean? So a little bit of time left, or like a little more time off the clock against Philly, we'll probably win that game, and then obviously an overtime game. Anything can happen. So you feel good about it at the very, very minimum, which is at least something. But that's kind of where we're looking at right now. It would be at the Bucs, like I said. Baker Mayfield. We'll get a preview of that game. Potential game. It's not like something that's going to happen for sure. But we'll get a preview of Rams Bucs here in a few weeks. Sunday Night Football, SoFi Stadium. Quick peek at the NFC West here. Seahawks in first, 5-2. Rams in second, 5-2. San Francisco off that loss, they are 5-3 in third place now. And the Arizona Cardinals at 2-5. By the way, the Cardinals playing the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football, so they'll be capping off the week. I think, by the way, I don't know if this is like sacrilegious to say this in a football podcast, but I think I'm getting kind of done with Monday Night Football. I think I'm kind of over it. It's kind of like, it just kind of feels like a thing I have to wait for to finish now, so I can finish writing up my podcast and make sure all my averages are right, But yeah, I think I'm kind of done. It's not the spectacle it used to be. It used to be like a thing, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, oh man, Monday Night Football, we gotta go check this out. Now it's like, oh, it's still happening? All right, what time is it? Still on? All right, I'll write my stats tomorrow, So, I mean, I'm watching the game still, but you get it. We got a full game preview as the Rams coming off the bye week hosting the New Orleans Saints. We'll get into that full game preview right after this break. It is Ram Showcase. Welcome back in, Ram Showcase. My name's Sheriff Joe Bags. The 5-2 Los Angeles Rams coming back off of their bye to host the 1-7 New Orleans Saints. This game kicks off at 1:05 p.m. LA time. That is local. It's SoFi Stadium. This game will be televised on Fox. Fox does get the single, so not a lot of area for this one. The Rams and Saints in the yellow zones on your screen. Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma will be on the call. Obviously not a major area. Chicago, for some reason, wanted to check out the Rams. And then we go all the way up in California to, what is that, Fresno and all that good stuff. And then obviously that pocket near New Orleans. So check it out there, your local listings. Obviously, there's plenty of ways to watch football games. So I know sometimes people get mad that I do these. I don't know why. Whatever, it's fine. But for you bettors, Rams minus 14.5 for this game. The money line minus 11.50. Don't even. It's not your. That's just money. I guess you get a couple nickels for putting some cash on the money line for the Rams there. But the over under 43.5. If you dive a little bit further into those numbers, by the way, the Rams 29.5 and Saints 13.5. So the Vegas and the sports books don't think that this is going to be a super close game. We do have our pants picks, by the way, but you know what? The Rams for sure hate this game. They gave us the pants today. But I will, rest assured, I will also lock in that I did get it wrong, and I'm the only one that got it wrong. I'm okay with it. The royal jersey will be singing with the soul pants. You can see that Tuna, Peo, and Rams House all did get it correct with the soul pants. I went with Bone in the spirit of Halloween. I'm the only one feeling festive, I guess, this week, but whatever. But I'm also wrong, so I guess... There is that part. Whatever. What can you do about it? So, but pants picks. It's too late to participate. Because they gave us the pants already. I don't know why they don't just do the 24-hour thing. I don't know why we got to know so early. What's up, Rams and social media teams and stuff? What the heck? Ruining my game. We really might have to can it if they're gonna literally give us the pants before I can even do this segment. Whatever. Matchup history. This is the 81st all-time meeting between these two teams. The Rams do lead the all-time series 45-35. Rams won the last 2 and 4 of the last 5 against the Saints. Last time these teams met was December 1st of 2024, just last year. 21-14 win for the Rams. That was in New Orleans. The first ever game between these two came on September 17th, 1967. That was the year both my parents were born. Shout out. That was a 27-13 win for the Rams, also played in New Orleans. If we look at Saints at the Rams do lead that all-time series 24-16, the most recent being December of 23. The Rams did win that game. Last time the Rams lost to the Saints at home, they called the Edward Jones Dome home. That was in 2009, which doesn't count. Everybody beat the Rams that year, so whatever, dude. And also a really close game, so we almost had them. Almost had win number 2 on the year, man. But Rams have won the last 5 when hosting the Saints. The most notable would probably be the completely cleanly called NFC Championship game in the 2018 season, where the Rams won it in overtime, went on to play in the Super Bowl. I use the term play in the Super Bowl fairly loosely there. Take a look at what we're kind of looking for in this game. On the Saints side, Tyler Shough, dude. Bad luck, Shough, getting the game, the start, his first career start. He was the second-round pick, 40th overall to the New Orleans Saints this past draft. He did come in for a chunk of their game last week. That was a 23-3 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Did get a little slice of action against the Seahawks as well. He was 17 of 30, 128 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, was sacked twice. Spencer Rattler was definitely doing, I think, a really good job of protecting the football. I think that overall, like, I've never been super high on Spencer Rattler. That goes back to his college days where just the ego did not match the production level whatsoever. Like, he was talking like he was one of the best ever, but it was like, you're only okay. What are you doing here? So I was kind of out of him there, but to start the season, I think that he was actually playing really well. And then he hit a stretch there because he had like one turnover for a really long time, and then hit a stretch there was like I think like 5 or 6 quarters where he just could not stop turning the ball over. And then the team, Kellen Moore obviously decided to make the switch and go over to rookie Tyler Shough. So it does seem like Spencer Rattler's time as the starter probably done. I mean, you got to look at a 1-17 making a quarterback change at this point in time. And obviously, it's probably not realistic if they would go back to Spencer Rattler. It's like, okay, we've seen what he can do. The rest of the season's Tyler. See what he can do, kind of thing. I know that they have can't remember their other quarterback right now off the top of my head, but they do have somebody else as well. They could technically get in some reps, but I don't know, man. But either way, I don't know. It's to me, man. It's like he's getting his first career start on the road against one of the NFC's best teams off of a bye week, who, like, Sean McVay and the Rams do incredible off the bye week. It's at SoFi, bye week. It's like against a really, really good like, dude, what a tough spot to put your guy in, man. Like, and I know that there's never a perfect time. There's never a perfect time to do it, but it feels like this is for sure not the time. You know what I mean? Like, Tyler Shough gets his first career start against Jared Verse and Byron Young. Dude, I'm excited, but I mainly just feel bad for this guy, man. That is almost rude to do, man. I don't know. On the field, though, I mean, he looked like a guy getting his first action last week. So maybe this week is going to be a little different. Maybe, he's got a week to prepare. So maybe it could get a little interesting here, but tough, dude. Kellen Moore, what are you doing to your dude there, man? That's absolutely, that's harsh, man. I don't know. Either way. Also, speaking of Kellen Moore, first-year head coach Kellen Moore, dealt a pretty tough hand with the roster. They're not super terrible, but there's something that just isn't really clicking with the Saints right now. So tough task for Kellen Moore to come in and try to do it. Obviously, you knew coming in that you didn't have a quarterback. You addressed it by getting somebody in the second round, which is not necessarily something that solidifies your position group or anything like that, unless it's one of those guys. Tyler Shough, I don't know if he is. We'll see. But either way, that's kind of just tough business. He's just trying to do some evaluations right now, but not in the conversation for coaches possibly losing their job, at least not yet. I don't anticipate that he would lose his job this year. It does feel like no matter what was going to happen this year, he was going to at least be able to stick around. So pretty chilly seat for Kellen Moore. At least all signs indicate that. But obviously they want to win more games, but more importantly, it's like seeing who is worth keeping around and who's keeping you near the bottom of the league, who's not putting any effort in there, who's coming out every single week to play some football. You know what I mean? So that's up for Kellen Moore to decide and do his evaluations. But it does kind of seem like it's an evaluate and develop kind of season for the Saints. Foster those who are, wanting to be there and wanting to see a turnaround, and feel free to move on from guys that aren't. I mean, it really is, you really can be that simple sometimes. I think we've seen that with many rebuilds, Rams included. I mean, when Sean McVay came in, it was like, okay, you can go. Like, it was like, but you're staying for sure. Todd, yeah, you're staying, dude. Aaron, yeah, you're staying. It was kind of that kind of situation. So we saw it ourselves. And Kellen Moore very well could be that kind of guy to pull that kind of thing off. He's definitely not a Sean McVay, but I think he is a really good coach. They've got a decent coaching staff out there, but again, just put in a tough spot. Defense is actually playing pretty decent as well. That offense, though, just seems to really have no sparks flying out there. Let's take a look at the Rams side, though. 5 home games, 5 road games after the bye, so that's kind of nice. But 4 of the last 6 are on the road, so it will turn not good and eventually. But either way, the bye week for the Rams has been, it's just such a reset week. You know what I mean? Like, we got to see a game where we didn't have Puka Nacua, so instead we saw a lot of 13 personnel instead, which I absolutely love to see that we can make those kind of adjustments. But I'm sure the time off, there was a lot of evaluating, and I would expect the Rams to come out in this game a little bit more energized, a little bit more solidified in what they want to do, a little bit more clarity in how they would like to attack. And I say that because that's just kind of what we typically see when it comes to Sean McVay and a bye week. It seems like that is the week where you kind of pull back a little bit, zoom out, and kind of just evaluate what you need to do and where you're kind of headed. So I do believe that that's where we're at. Bad luck for the Saints getting the Rams off of a bye. That's all I'll say. Chris Shula, by the way, also getting a rookie quarterback to go against. I kind of talked about this already, but sorry about it. Bad luck, Shough, dude. Bad luck, Shough. First career start, welcome to LA. Have you met Jared and Byron? Oh, don't worry, they'll introduce themselves. You will, dude, you will. Shout out, Tyler. Shout out, dude. As I was looking through the roster here and the coaches on the Saints, I picked out a few names that sound familiar. As far as the coaches go, Scott Linehan, former Rams head coach. He is a senior offensive assistant for the Saints. And then Brandon Staley, defensive coordinator for the Saints. So we obviously saw him. He was 2020 was his last year as a Rams defensive coordinator. Was that his only? Or was he for two? I don't know. There was a stretch there where we couldn't keep a coordinator to save our lives. And I think that Staley was one of them out. Obviously, he got the Chargers job after being DC for the Rams. Players that looked familiar to me, wide receiver Brandon Cooks going full circle, just getting traded for number 1 picks all over the league and then ends up back in New Orleans. Got to love that. Defensive lineman Jonah Williams. We obviously saw a good chunk of him. And then safety, Terrell Burgess as well. So Burge, man. I haven't seen anything from Terrell Burgess in a while. It was kind of like, I almost like thought he was out of the league. I saw him sitting there. He's a backup on the safety, but solid player. Like the guy. Jonah Williams as well, Brandon Cooks as well. I don't know, man. That's a good slate there of some former Rams. I like it, man. I like it. Let's take a look at the matchup of this game. On the offensive side here, the Rams offense going against that Saints defense. The Rams have a top 7 offense right now, 370 a game, while the Saints give up 331. That is 13th in the league passing the ball. 3rd ranked unit for the Rams, putting up almost 257 a game. And Saints defense is actually top 10 unit when covering the pass, ranking 9th with giving up 196 a game. Running the football, the Rams are 22nd here, about 103.5, while the Saints give up 124.3. That is 20th in the league. Rams put up 25 points a game. That's tied for 11th. And the Saints give up 26.1. That is 24th. And on third down, the Rams convert 37.7% of theirs. That's 21st. And the Saints give up 36.8. That is 12th in the league. So actually pretty decent as far as the third down goes. And then against the pass. But I also don't think that there's a whole lot of need to necessarily pass a bunch against the Saints. You have a lot of games where they've had some close games, but they've also had a lot of blowouts where obviously at the end of those, you're kind of skewing the stats a little bit by taking the passing game completely out of the game, especially late in the fourth quarter, stuff like that. So something to keep your eye on. Rams pass attack is absolutely crazy right now. Absolutely love to see that, dude. The passing game with Matthew Stafford is just firing right now. Losing, Puka for that little bit, and then you go into 13 personnel, and then you unlock red zone Devontae Adams out of nowhere. Absolutely love to see that. But just the entire Rams offense is versatile, and that's, kind of how we've built it. So that's not a surprise to anybody. Shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. That's kind of what we've curated that carefully. You know what I mean? But Saints defense is decent, honestly. Nothing really sticks out as far as production goes. They just play fine, I guess, is kind of what I've seen from them watching them play this year. Fine pass rush. They're decent in coverage. They have a decent roster. They're just not getting any help from the offense. And they also have no real true explosives. They don't have like where the Jags were leading the league in turnovers and interceptions. You have the Saints just kind of doing okay, So if you can get past them a few times down the field, feels like if you can push the ball all the way down the field 2-3 times, based on what the Saints are doing on offense, probably be all right. Opposing players to watch on the Saints defense. We're going to start with Chase Young, really solid pass rusher. Obviously, he's still a physical freak. Dude is really good at football, but seems to not be playing with as much passion this year, but he can certainly still wreck some plays, man. Chase Young is very physical, very talented, just doesn't have that killer instinct this year. You know what I'm saying? Next up, Kool-Aid McKinstry. A lot of Rams fans were really high on McKinstry coming out of Bama. And, he does lead the Saints in interceptions. That is just with 2. He gets in on tackles on run plays. He, gets in there on TFLs and stuff like that. I think he's got 2 or 3. And 7 passes broken up on the season as well. So Kool-Aid McKinstry, obviously athletic, fast, twitchy. He's got good instincts as a corner, so definitely somebody who can take away some guys. But we have some really, really good ones, dude. So it's a tough test for all sides there. And then we'll end with Carl Granderson. He does lead the team in TFLs with 6. He is second in quarterback hits. He also leads the team in sacks, 4.5. So he can certainly get after the pass rusher. He's really solid, man. He can tackle, give you a long day, and give your tackles a long day, all that stuff. So, Carl Granderson. And best one-on-one I'm looking at here is going to be Demario Davis versus Kyron Williams. Davis, obviously, Demario Davis is awesome, great linebacker. Chances this game comes down to the Rams just trying to get out with a win feels kind of big, so K-Dub could be tasked with that scenario, just kind of killing the game as it comes to a close, so I think that is certainly something to keep our eye on. But Davis has played some really strong football. Kyron will have to earn it. Davis, a veteran, talented, smart player, so obviously when trying to kill the game, I mean, you don't want to go 3 and out and just take 2 minutes off the clock. You want to be able to go, get to second and third and get those, and then, obviously take as much time as you please off the clock. That is the goal. On the Rams side, 3 to see here. We're going to start with quarterback Matthew Stafford. Stafford has been looking like a full-on MVP coming off of the bye week. I'm just excited to see if that, push for MVP and all that good stuff. I know he'll say he doesn't care about it. I'm sure there's a little piece of him that'll be like, yeah, that'd be really cool. I'm sure they're all athletes. They're all competitive. They all want certain things, but I'm sure too, there is a lot of truth in the fact that he just wants to win. And if missing out on an MVP means you win football games, I'm sure I don't know who's offering that. That's weird, but it's like that creepy dude in Willy Wonka or something like that. And it's all like, hey. That's my impression of that guy. I don't know where whatever, you get it. But it's I don't know who's offering that deal, but Matthew Stafford would probably take it if you can win some more football games and give up your MVP caliber season, But it's he's killing it though, and he's got great weapons to keep on making that push. Stafford might be staring these next 10 games in the face, looking at his best career season as well. He's playing absolutely incredible football. Next up, wide receiver Puka Nacua. Back in action. Gotta love to see that, man. No Puka, no problem. But it's always good to see 12 running around, smiling, doing some of those, all that good stuff, man. So Puka's absence may have unlocked the Stafford to Devontae combo, at least in the red zone. But it's obviously really nice to have him back. Speaking of having him back, Big Rob Havenstein is going to be our last one here. Also returning from injury, Big Rob. He will see the field once again. Warren McClendon. Shout out, dude. McClendon played absolutely awesome at right tackle, filling in for Big Rob. And is kind of making a case for hey, yo, Big Rob, if you want to, go hang out with your family, I can do this kind of thing. He's making his case for that. But either way, it is great to have the last remaining St. Louis Ram back out on the football field in Big Rob Havenstein. So gotta love to see it, man. As far as Rams offense against the Saints defense goes, I think the advantage got to go to the Rams, right? I mean, that feels real. Rams offense felt a little bit different in London, felt a little bit of something getting unlocked. Who knew that all you needed to do was not have Puka Nacua for your offense to put up the most points it has all year? Crazy, man, crazy. Flip over to the other side of the football here. We'll go to the Saints offense against the Rams defense. So Saints on offense are 26th in the league. They put up about a little over 310 a game. The Rams are about middle of the road here, 15th in the league, giving up a little under 230 a game. Passing the football, 22nd ranked pass attack for the Saints offense. Those numbers not going to be accurate, especially with a quarterback change. 201.4 a game, though, and the Rams give up 208.3. That's 14th in the league. Rushing the football, almost 94 yards a game for the Saints offense. That's 28th in the league, even with an Alvin Kamara. Crazy, man. And then the Rams' 14th ranked run defense, giving up about 106 a game. Average points being put up, 16 for the Saints. That's 29th in the league, and the Rams give up 16.7. That is third in the league. And as far as third down conversion rate, 38.8 for the Saints offense. That's 17th in the league, and the Rams give up 34%. That is tied for fourth place in the NFL. Some notes we're looking at here. The Rams defense still second in the league in sacks after having a full week off. You got to love to see that. Rams have given up the third fewest passing touchdowns and are tied for first in fewest rushing touchdowns allowed. So obviously the points, we talked about it there. The Rams on average points given up 3rd in the league. I mean, that's absolutely incredible. It's all the rankings tell you exactly what you need to know about a Chris Shula defense. It's very much don't get beat deep, keep everything in front of you, make a good tackle when you see a spot to attack for a potential forced fumble, for an interception, something like that. Hit it, but don't be dumb. You know what I mean? Don't get absolutely blown away and get have somebody sprinting by you with nobody else back there, kind of thing. And I think the Rams really do a good job of, kind of just picking their spot, letting them do that thing. It's like they're at their own 25. They can get some yards. That's okay. You don't have to shut them down right there. But just pick your spot, and then when it gets to a 3rd and long or anything like that, or you get to the red zone, whatever it happens to be, you're shutting them down and getting off the field, which obviously you love to see. You love to see it, man. But Rams defense, they may be giving up yards, dude, but not points. And sure, we can look at stats all we want to, but stats are so misleading sometimes, where you can say, yeah, the Rams have the 15th ranked defense in the league. Does that feel real? To me, no. I mean, if you're asking me, I feel like we're one of the best defenses in the NFL. Yards, sure, but we're not giving up points. And points is the number one stat that they look at. You know what I mean? They look at the end of the game, they're like, hey, who got the more points? It's not like who passed for more yards or anything like that. Otherwise, last week wouldn't have been good. Or the game in London for the Rams wouldn't have been good. Some opposing players we're keeping our eyes on, of course, Alvin Kamara, incredible running back. Certainly can get it done and will likely be the emergency outlet for Shough a lot all game, especially in his first career start against a defense that tends to sit back and let the pass game kind of unfold and attack it after the ball's caught. So certainly something to keep our eyes on there. Kamara has been involved in some trade talks. Nothing seems imminent, but you never know when you're seeing somebody in their last game for their team. Not saying, just saying, dude. Not saying, just saying. So Alvin Kamara could very well be on the move. We'll see what happens. Chris Olave, wide receiver, extremely solid wide receiver, could definitely get open against the best. The Rams' zone defense will definitely need to keep eyes on Chris throughout his routes. So the pass-offs are going to need to be, on point, stuff like that, because especially in a zone defense, kind of a dream scenario for a rookie quarterback coming in, picking apart a zone. Obviously, the Rams are a good defense, but you can move the ball against the Rams. Just when it gets to 3rd down in the red zone, shut it down. So you gotta score outside of that, is what I'm trying to say. You got to score from like the 40 on a 2nd down. Otherwise, it may not happen. And next up, we'll give it to Tyler Shough. The kid is getting his first career start in SoFi Stadium. That's incredible business, man. This is going to be something he and his family talk about forever, and I absolutely love that. Congrats to Tyler and his family. Get to check this one out. Obviously, incredible moment for his career. That being said, I hope Jared and Byron make him wonder if he should have played a different sport. Does that make me a bad guy? Maybe. I don't know. Best one-on-one for this one's going to be Jared Verse versus Kelvin Banks Jr., the left tackle. Verse is a maniac. Sorry about it, Kevin. Sorry about it, dude. You got to deal with the maniac that is Jared Verse all day. It's your job to stop this absolute insane person, though, from getting to your rookie quarterback. Best of luck, dude. That's all. And for your 3 to see on the Rams, oh, that's so funny. I did more offensive players, and then, wait a second. Yeah, I just picked more offensive players, so this is actually not correct. I picked Devontae Adams, Jordan Whittington, and Tyler Higbee. Which is so funny that it's 3 different players. So I'm just going to make this up as we go, all right? So oh, man, that is absolutely hilarious. 6 to see on the Rams' offensive side. First of all, I'll give you those. For Devontae Adams on the offensive side, obviously. I don't know what the heck my brain was doing here, but Devontae Adams, he's going to follow up that 3 TD performance in London, and maybe more fireworks. Puka Nacua back on the field. We'll see what happens. Jordan Whittington, with Tutu Atwell getting placed on IR, Witt is expected to definitely be a little bit more featured this week into the offense, so we'll see what happens there. He does fit this offense extremely well. Dare I say better than Tutu? I know that not everybody agrees, but I do. And then Tyler Higbee, lots of attention going to Ferg and Parkey from last week. Fair enough. But don't forget, the Big Rig Hig, still the man. Yeah, that's so funny. I put offensive players for the Rams defense, so I'm just going to go off the cuff here. So we're going to start. You know what, man? I think that with with Alvin Kamara at running back with a rookie quarterback, I think that Nate Landman is definitely number one, enemy of the of the Saints offense here, because not only is he going to be, tasked with filling up those run lanes, but also in coverage against Alvin Kamara as well, who is very, very good out of the backfield. So something to keep our eyes on there. I'm not going to say Roger McCreary, and the only reason that I'm not including McCreary here is because I just don't feel like he's going to see a lot of action this week. It's certainly possible, but coming over to the Rams, it's not very regular that we see a newbie come in and contribute a lot immediately. We usually kind of phase them in a little bit like that. So I do think that that's what happens with Roger. So I'm not going to go with him, but give me Darius Williams, because Darius Williams has played very, very well these last few weeks. I know he's been dealing with a little bit of stuff after that Saints game, but I think that he's been playing some really, really strong football, man. So I'm excited for Darius Williams as we continue. And then I guess I just talked about the maniac that is Jared Verse and Byron Young. We'll put those guys together because, dude, rookie quarterback, pin those ears back and go murder somebody, dude. Jared and Byron are, I mean, that duo of pass rushers is absolutely absurd, man. Shouldn't even be legal. I feels like, Roger Goodell should need to step in and be like, hey, guys, chill out. And maybe that's what happened with Aaron Donald. Maybe he was like, dude, if you guys are going to draft Jared first, you guys got to get rid of Aaron Donald. That's not fair. Football gods couldn't allow it, dude. That's what I'm saying. As far as the advantage goes here, Rams defense against a rookie quarterback is an easy call. It's a 1-7 team starting a rookie quarterback, his first career start. Easy money there, dude. Easy money. It's not that Rattler looked like a guy to necessarily be concerned about, but the confusing defense that is Chris Shula should be able to mix it up and confuse the rookie enough to get a turnover, maybe a couple, maybe pick six, something like that. Was it Peo has this game marked as his Troy Reader pick six game? We'll see, I guess. I mean, I don't know how confident I am in that pick, but who knows, dude? Who knows? Anything's possible, man. He is our best player. And the biggest key to victory that I'm looking at here, man, is just going to be ball control. The Saints are a 1-win team. Don't do something wild and, try to like something wild or random, try to shock the world. No world shocking needed when you're playing against a rookie quarterback in his first start for a 1-7 football team, man. Just play some clean football, get out with a win. Sure, the Rams should, in theory, win by like 30 points, but will they? Probably not. I told you the spread's 14.5. If I'm a betting man, and I am, I'm going to take the Saints with the points there. I mean, that's too many points for me, especially in an NFL game. It just feels like this game will be a little bit closer to the Ravens game than the Jags game. It just feels like this is like the last game that we really need to kind of take some inventory a little bit and just kind of be like, okay, let's just get out of here with a win. We don't need to pull out trick plays and all your money plays and all this crazy stuff against the New Orleans Saints. You don't need to do it. Get more points than them. Get ready for the Niners next week. You already lost to them. Get ready for the Niners next week. Don't blow this game off. Don't already think about the Niners, obviously. You have a football game to play against an NFL team this weekend, but just do what you got to do. Get out there with a win. Get more points than they do, and just get out. That's very much how I feel about this game. I know everybody wants to see a big blowout here. I just want to see more points than them. That's all. I want that every single week, though. I don't care about blowouts, all that stuff. I know that that's like a big topic right now in the Rams world of like, we got to be able to just beat them up, dude. Just destroy them. Make them wish they never played football. All that stuff. But it's like, just score more than they do, dude. It could be 3-2. I don't care. Just get more points than they. They only give you one win. Every week, you can only get one win. I don't care how much it's by. just more points. And maybe that's also a little bit of me like remembering how bad we used to be. Where if we won by 4, we'd be like, let's go. You know what I mean? So maybe my Rams fan brain has just been a Rams fan too long. And maybe I'm just, maybe I'm just fine with getting out with wins. I don't need the blowout, man. I really don't. It's fine by me, man. All right, that's going to do it for your game preview. We'll have a full game preview for you on Tuna and the Sheriff this Friday, 7 a.m. That show's live, 7 a.m. LA time, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So check us out there. It's streaming live on the First and Tuna Podcast YouTube channel as well as the Rams Showcase Facebook page. So you can check it out all there. Let's see here. We got First Down Rams. That show happens on Wednesday nights with Payo and Rams House, which it does kind of bum me out because this is Wednesday night and this is the night that I've always done my show. So sometimes I can kind of keep them on in the background, but I can't really pay attention now. That's not the point. I'm not like trying. It's not for me, But either way, check them out as well. Wednesday nights for sure, and then Tuna and the Sheriff Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. LA time. We'll check that out. Big old football game going on this weekend, though, as the Saints taking on the Rams, 1:05 p.m. LA time from SoFi Stadium. If you're going to be there, make sure you take plenty of pictures and all that stuff. I absolutely love to see it. Tuna will be there, so make sure you give him a high five. Tell him that I'm the cooler one on Tuna and the Sheriff. He'll get a kick out of that. It's good stuff. But yeah, that is this weekend. Enjoy the game. I'll also be live ahead of the game as well. We do the live streams as I drive out to go watch some football. That last one was early, dude. Dang. But we'll be back at normal scheduled time this go around. So that's good news. We got our Fan Quesos. That's on the other side of this break. It is Ram Showcase. All right, Rams fans, welcome back in. This is Ram Showcase. My name's Sheriff Joe Baggs. Let's head over to the Facebook page here. Get our Fan Quesos there. I know Edwin has dropped a few on the Facebook page, so yep, we'll check those out here. First few coming from Edwin, emphasis on the win. That was a long bye week. I'm so excited to watch some Rams football. Dude, you ain't lying, man, especially when we couldn't even get more than one good football game in the week that we're off, man. Freaking bummer over here. What's Carl doing? Carl, what are you doing over here? Hey, what are you doing? Come here. You want to come here? Come here. Answer. All right, Joe and Carl. Here to answer your Fan Quesos, Edwin. Number one, what makes Vay the best coach in the league? Carl? Yeah, well said, dude. So I thanks, bud. What makes McVay the best coach in the league? Ability to adjust. Nothing is set in stone. Everything is fluid, and we can make those adjustments on the fly. You lose Puka Nacua, and instead of going 11 personnel all the time, you pull out the 13 personnel. Absolutely love to see it, dude. So that is what is making. That's what makes him the best coach in the league. He's a good motivator, good talker. Connects with his players in a way that like Jeff Fisher never could. You know what I mean? And yeah, his ability to adjust on the fly, dude. So his ability to just kind of like see what's going on with his own team, build a game plan that fits your roster, and move forward. I mean, we saw it when we were super beat up in 2022. Like, I know we were losing a bunch of football games, but there was a lot of times in there in some of those games where it was like, oh no, we're still looking okay. And it's like, man, it's just like, it's at that point, it really was like, no, we're out coaching people. We're just not executing. And it's hard to blame that too much when you're on, when you're really in your depth of your team. So of your roster. And why is it his hair? Yeah, that's first of all, my hair could beat the crap out of Sean McVay's hair. Probably not, actually. His is, I don't even think it's real hair, dude. It feels like it's like, you ever seen Community? Pierce's dad, where it's like a thing that like just places on. It's made out of elephant tusks or whatever. That's probably what Sean McVay's hair is, because it doesn't even like, it can get rained on and nothing happens. I don't understand it, dude. Don't understand it. Either way. Second question here from Edwin. It seems this team is getting better and better every week. Do you think the Rams need to make another trade, or are you okay with rolling with who we got? Okay, so your question was put in after McCreary. No, I love where we're at, man. I'm not opposed to adding people. And also, what was it? The 21 Rams, by the time that season was over, the Rams had played like 70-something people over the course of the year. So I don't necessarily think like we need to add anybody right now. Otherwise, we're doomed. But I do think that it's worth it to kind of keep your eyes open and just kind of know that, like there's some free agents right now that are decent players. Like, what if something happens in our wide receiver room? So it's like, hey, Robert Woods, come back for one more run. You know what I mean? Like, I believe Robert Woods is still a free agent, but it's one of those, man, where it's like, there's some guys out there that can still help you win some football games. But now I really, really like where we're at right now. This team is really, really talented. So Not necessarily, but I'm also not opposed. And that's how I felt, before the McCreary move. It's like I like our corners. I feel fine with our corners, and they've been playing really good. So I'm cool. But if we can add and get somebody awesome, and we did in Roger McCreary, I'm down with that as well, man. But I'm also just not a predictor guy. I don't really care. Well, what do you get from predicting something right? You get to go on Twitter and be like, see, I called it. Cool. Awesome. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. Number 3, I was watching some Saints YouTuber talking about the Rams, and I lost my mind when they brought up the early hit during the NFC the 2018 NFC Championship, and I was like, you guys gotta let it go. Like it never happened. Oh, I like that. You're just calling it. Yeah, completely clean game, dude. It was perfectly clean game. Do you think that you would hold on to something like that if it happened to our Rams? I would. Go Rams, go Joe. Thank you, man. No, I wouldn't. I would have dropped it the week after because you can't change it. Nothing's gonna change. And also, I would like to point out to I don't know what you're doing, dude. I would like to point out to the Saints fans that Rams fans actually tried real hard to get those refs off of the game. Real hard, dude. Rams had petitions that everybody was signing. I'd be lying if I said I didn't, dude. I was in that. I was in that thing, dude. Trying to get Bill Vinovich off of the game because the Rams had such terrible luck with Bill Vinovich Cruz. And then the Saints fans were making fun of us so bad. They're like, you guys are so scared of the refs, and you want to get them off the game. You try to switch refs and stuff like that. And then that happened, and it was like, yeah, that's why. It's like, it burned you this time. Normally, it's us. Way to go, Saints fans. You made fun of us for doing something that ultimately burned you. So, no, I don't feel bad. They made fun of us so hard, dude, for trying to get Bill Vinovich off of that game. And then as soon as they get that, they're like, what? The refs are going to cost us. It's like, we tried, dude. Don't give me that. We tried. We did our part, all right? Miss me with all that stuff, dude. Oh, it's so funny, though. Yeah, no, I wouldn't, though. I would. It's fine. It's whatever, man. Bad calls happen. It's not why you lost the game, that's for sure. I mean, I'm very much in that, like, don't put yourself in a position for the refs to decide it. They also had the football 3 more times after that, so no, I don't care. Was it twice? I don't know. Either way, they had more chances. Let's see here. Favorite. Oh, I'm going over to the YouTube channel, by the way. We're just going to go down this list. I haven't read any of these yet. These ones I know just came in. This one says 23 minutes ago from Rams House. So I have not seen any of these. We'll see what kind of chaos we get into. Let's see here. Rams House. Favorite William Hayes moment. Am I crazy, or did you just ask William Hayes last week? Because I said the mermaid thing, right? Am I crazy? Or are you crazy? Are we crazy? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that happened. Or did you say Eugene Sims and then I lied and said the mermaid thing for Eugene Sims? Because it was William Hayes. I'm on to you. I'm going to stick with my mermaid thing, though. Halloween special. Favorite Morgan Fox moment. My favorite Morgan Fox moment actually has nothing to do with Morgan Fox. It actually has something to do with his mom. Hear me out. So, I was working at a local drive-thru, and I had my Rams lanyard, my ramyard out, and I'm just working or whatever, and just kind of standing there, just chilling. I live in Colorado, so it's like, certain things get said to you, and you're just kind of like, oh, I know this. I know this answer. But I'm standing there, and this person in my drive-thru is like, oh, are you a Rams fan? Look at my lanyard, like, oh, yeah, I do have it out. Like, yeah, I am. Big-time Rams fan. She goes, oh, my son plays for them. I go, Morgan Fox? She, mind blown. She's like, what? And it was like, well, he went to Found Fort Carson. He played at CSU Pueblo, and it's like, I live in the same city as he grew up. It's like, I live, like, close to his school. And she was just blown away by that, which was so, so funny. But I kept trying to do a video where it was like, can Sheriff Joe Bags block Morgan Fox? And then I was just going to, like, go to a field I was trying to set this up. It was never even close or anything like that. We like Morgan Fox, try to block him and just like have him just like toss me around. Good content. But never happened. So that's not cool, I guess. But Morgan Fox, cool guy. He played football with one of my old coworkers as well. Fountain, Fort Carson in Fountain, Colorado. But that's basically just Colorado Springs. It's, I'm trying to think of like a example in LA, like Inglewood to LA. It's like, is it LA? No, but it is. It's fine. It's LA, the metro area, whatever. This one here coming from Rams House again. Whose house? If Matthew Stafford was a candy, what candy would he be? Matthew Stafford. So, first of all, he's old. It had to be said. Dude, okay, he's been around a while. That's all. More flashy than he gets credit for, but doesn't get attention for being flashy. I'm trying to work this out in my brain. I'm trying to work it out. Who he is. Very, very strong, very sturdy. Never goes out. You're always gonna have it there. I'm gonna say, and it's not because he's not breakable. But I'm gonna go with Kit Kat. It's just one of those solid ones, been around for a real long time, gonna get the job done. There might be other flashier options out there. You can get a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup in Lamar Jackson or something like that. Or, a Snickers out of Mahomes. But something about a Kit Kat, man, stands the test of time. You know it's going to be sturdy. Not in a wafer form. You know what I mean? It's kind of falling apart, but I got it. Yeah, just, stands the test of time, is in there with all the other good stuff, but maybe isn't your first thought of like, oh, that one's really good. Like if somebody's like, what's your favorite Halloween candy? You're not like, oh, Kit Kat for sure. If you are, you're weird. But that's not everybody's first answer. But then you say Kit Kat and everybody's like, yeah, Kit Kat. That's hilarious. Halloween special. If Alec Ogletree was a candy, what would he be? Ooh, Alec Ogletree. Tree. 52. Out of Georgia. Third round pick. I was kidding. Was he a third round pick? I think. No, second round. No, first. No. I forgot. Second feels real. Oh, that's not the question. If he was, I feel like Alec Ogletree was really. That's a hard one. It's harder. I don't know why they're so hard when they're not players anymore. It's because I have to remember who they are. I'm just gonna go with Hershey Kiss because, or I'm gonna go Hershey Bar instead. Because similar to Stafford, nothing super flashy, but also really, really solid option, dude. Really solid option. I gotta get away from the candy. Situation. This one's coming from Payo time. The Rams reach out to you to help come up with a name for a new food item at SoFi in honor of one of this season's players. Who would you pick and what food item? For me, I would pick Quentin Lake, and I would have a milkshake beverage of some kind called the Lake Shake. Dude, the Milk Lake? Oh, that's pretty cool. I like it, dude. Love the show. Thank you, Pam. Let me think here. That's so hard off the spot, dude. Dippin' Dotsons. Duh, dude. Oh, man. Dippin' Dotsons, dude. I'm so proud of that right now, dude. That just came out. I'll take a moment just to be pleased with myself, if you don't mind. Nice. All right. I'm so proud of that one, dude. I'm so proud of that one. That's so funny. Dippin' Dotsons. I'm not even going to think of others. That's it. That's the one, man. That's the one. All right. Next one here from Rams House. Tutu Atwell has been a point of contention amongst Rams fans this season. Ooh. Why did we pay him $10 million? I don't know why, by the way, my impression when I'm reading quotes turns into Otto from The Simpsons. No clue. Metallica rules. Nailed that voice crack, by the way. That was awesome. Tutu Atwell needs more opportunities. That's another quote. The Rams need to trade Atwell, etc. For me, I like Atwell a lot. This is still the comment. I truly think the Rams have wanted to use him a lot more this year, but for one reason or another, he hasn't had the opportunities. Injuries, game plan specific decisions, Puka Devontae, and so on. I still believe he will have a big Atwell game at some point this season. My question to you is, if we only have 1 or 2 big Atwell games by the end of the season and Atwell has 500 to 600 yards and around 2 touchdowns, will the Rams continue to invest in Atwell to the Atwell experience for 2026? Another prove-it deal, or will Atwell test the market? I think Atwell tests the market after this year. I will say that based on what we've seen so far, through only 7 games, in fairness, we have not seen the $10 million valuation really come to fruition. And I say that lovingly, because I like Tutu Atwell a lot. I think he brings a lot to the table. I do think he's in a rough spot with Puka, Devontae, Jordan, X, Mump. Like, that's a lot. And then also all 4 of our awesome tight ends. You know what I mean? So I think that overall the $10 million valuation was probably a little much, especially fully guaranteed. And the reason that I say that mainly is because there's backup quarterbacks making $10 million. Like, and they get used, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's something to it where I just feel like obviously that game winner against the Colts. I mean, obviously that's killer stuff. You love to see it. Do we have anybody else that could do that? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they get caught. Maybe Tutu is the fastest guy, and that's, perfect. Maybe the way he ran that route is something that doesn't get run the same way if that's a X or a Mump or something like that out there, where the way he hit that cut and the guy falls down. Maybe if it's somebody else, that defender doesn't fall down, he's not even open. Maybe. But I would say that I think that the $10 million guaranteed for Tutu Atwell, it surprised me a little bit, especially considering it did feel like his contract, it's not my business to say, but should have been a little incentive-based, you know what I mean, on whether that's snaps, receptions, yards, whatever. I prefer snaps when it comes to that, because you're right, game plan specific stuff can come into play. And if he's out on the field, stats aren't everything. The speed of Tutu Atwell, sending him on a go, just hit this 9 route real quick, my guy, and then that could pull a safety to get Puka Nacua wide open underneath or something like that. So it's not always stats that are important. There's so many moving pieces, 22 of them, to be specific, on the football field, man. So there's so many different things. What I would say is, I don't think that we needed to bring him back for $10 million. I think we would be just fine if we did not do that. Although I really like Tutu Atwell, I would like to keep him around. Something feels like he may want to test the market, and I don't know if that's true or not. Obviously, I have no clue what his feelings are on staying with the Rams long term and different factors and all that stuff. But I do think that it is worth noting that Tutu Atwell has been fine. I like Tutu. I hope he sticks around. I hope he explodes. I hope you're right. I hope he has some games. I think it's more accurate to say I think that he'll have halves instead of games, where he'll have like a really big second half against Seattle or something like that, or this next week against San Fran may come out first half, put up 125, and then get 1 catch in the second half, something like that. That's kind of where I feel more accurate with Tutu. He can certainly take the top off. We've seen that plenty of times, but we don't use him in the ways that we thought we would use a speedster. We don't use him in jet sweeps and all these screens and stuff like that. We just don't. So for that reason, I do think that he tests the market. Next one here coming from Nathan. Is this the last opportunity for the Rams to make a run at a Super Bowl with Stafford? Certainly possible. I don't think so. I do think that Matthew Stafford is potentially coming back for next year. But I do think that, going into, week 9, very hard question to answer right now, because it could also fall apart on us. Like, we could get hurt coming out, and then it could all crumble. It could be one of those things where Stafford plays for 4 more years. And so the answer is no, because, we got more opportunities, and maybe 2 years from now is his best look. You know what I mean? So without knowing, and obviously we won't know until it happens, but I would say that I don't feel like this is our last opportunity with Stafford, but I am warning Rams fans, hey, just take advantage of this, man. We have Matthew Stafford right now. Take advantage of that. Take advantage, go to games, make sure you're watching, enjoy it, have fun. That's kind of my whole point with everything all the time, is always just have fun with it. It's going to go away soon, Season's already, I feel like I was just sitting here in week 2 being like, it's going too fast. It's going to be gone before we know it. And now we're already past bye week and stuff like that. It's it goes quick, dude. Careers go quick. I remember watching Matthew Stafford get drafted, and he looked like a kid. Now he's, 4 kids of his own and ready to retire within the next few years. So, it's kind of crazy, but I don't think so, but it's certainly possible. I think that either way, we should treat this as our last opportunity until it's not. You know what I mean? Like, we should go for it this year like this is it. Like, this is our last chance to win a Super Bowl. You should always do that, though, I think every year. Like, just go all in. I know it's not always feasible and stuff like that, but, like, I feel like we're in a spot right now to do that. We have been able to do that. So, possibly, but I don't think so, is my answer, officially. Next one here from Payo Time. Joe, you often talk about we don't know who this team is yet. True. It's only not even Halloween yet. Thanksgiving. That's when you know who you are, dude. I stand by that. So let's see here. We don't know who we are yet. Rams are 5-2 coming off the bye. In your opinion, which Rams win or loss showed who the Rams are becoming the most this season? Love the show. Thank you. I think a lot of people will disagree with me, but I would say Baltimore. I think that the Rams defense played extremely well. Obviously, no Lamar, so take that for what you will. But I think that overall, the way I kind of saw that game unfold too was the Rams, I feel like, could have put up 42 on them, but just were like, it's an AFC opponent who has one win. Let's just get out of here. We got to go to London next week, and then we have our bye. Like, let's just get out of here, dude. But those two drives to start the second half was like, boom, boom. Like, just work it down. Then it was like, okay, 2-possession game. Let's chill. Let's get out of here with the dub. They ain't going to score more than 14 on us. Like, it's like one of those where it's like, they're not even moving footballs. We're already up by 2 scores. We're up by 14 points. They ain't going to do that. Worst case scenario, we blow one coverage and then just turn it on again. You know what I mean? So, whatever. But I think that is the game that, to me, especially on defense, showed who we can be. And those 2 drives on offense was like, oh, when we need to go score, we can just be like, okay, let's go get one. It's kind of what it felt like. Next one here from Joaquim or Joakim. What did we decide? I don't remember. I'm gonna go with Joaquim. What is the Rams going to do with the last roster spot that is not yet filled? Solid question. Is it for a practice squad elevation? Doesn't necessarily need to be AJ Green. Or is it maybe signing via trade? I don't know if it's necessarily via trade, but I do think the Rams could leave this spot open for now with the intention, because also, dude, straight up, trade deadline's what, Tuesday this next week? Don't be surprised, dude. Don't be surprised if the Rams send out another pick and add another player. Just saying. So I don't think that, because you can only go in with, you can't activate everybody for each game. So you don't have to fill in, 53 just to get through a week or anything like that. But it does kind of feel like the Rams are taking this one slow. It is already Wednesday. We haven't gotten any word. I've not seen any last minute, goings on of people, the Rams adding people or anything like that. So obviously, I don't know, but I would say probably on Tuesday next week, we could, Monday or Tuesday next week, we'll see an addition to the Rams roster and fill that in. That's would be my guess. Or, I mean, it could be a free agent addition too. Like I said, I mean, there's some players out there that we could give a look to, but also no players out there where it's like, oh man, we need to fill this spot. Let's figure something out. You know what I mean? Like, even via trade, it's like, who are we looking at where we'd be like, oh yeah, we need to get him. Otherwise it's not good. I don't know. So I don't know. Hopefully we stay healthy this week and it doesn't create a need. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Payo time. For weeks, I predicted a pick 6 by Troy Reader. Yo! I remembered. When the Rams play the Saints, scale of 1 to 100%, how likely is this to happen? I'll be honest with you, man. Probably like 2%. I can't go 0, and that's feasible because it's not 0%. He does play for us. He is active on game day, so technically, it's certainly possible. I'm going to go so low, though, dude. I think it's like 2%. I think what's more realistic is that he forces a fumble on a kickoff. We're about to have a Troy Reader off, dude. Which Troy Reader play happens first? Force fumble on a kickoff or pick 6? I feel pretty good about my chances, I'll be honest. That's so funny that popped back up, dude. Let's see here. Rams house. Whose house? Would you rather have the Rams use Aaron Donald at running back in a goal line situation or put Jared Verse at tight end for a couple of plays in the red zone? Give me Aaron Donald at running back, dude. I was asking for that since like 2015, dude. Put him in at running back. Who's stopping this guy? Who is stopping Aaron Donald at running back, man? Put him back there by himself. Center and Aaron Donald. You're not stopping him. Do it with that Colts play. But Aaron Donald taking the snap. Who's going to get him, man? You would make everybody else look dumb. The dumbest play call in NFL history? Psych. Sorry about your defenders. I would love to see it. I mean, obviously, I would love to see Jared versus tight end also. I think that'd be very exciting. But Aaron Donald at running back is something I asked for years, dude. Years. I wanted that for 9 straight years. It was like, please just put him in there one time, dude. I just got to see this. And it never happened. Next one here, last stretch here from Rams House. Why do you think the Rams don't do many trick plays? Obviously, trick plays are not a necessity to win games, but they are fun and keep the defense honest. I think that teams like the Lions, who have wide receiver and running backs, throw passes and let the offensive linemen catch touchdowns. Straight up, that's a real thing. We don't even see special teams fakes anymore like we used to. Coach Bones, shout out. Again, I understand trick plays don't determine if you have a good team or not, but they're really fun. Just imagine Kevin Dotson or Steve Avila catching a touchdown pass, or Sean Dolak taking a direct snap on a punt. Would love to know your thoughts. Dude, I mean, so ultimately, I think my thoughts would be as follows. is that I don't think we've needed trick plays because we haven't really been in a position where we absolutely need to pull something out. That game against San Fran, I would say that was a spot for some trick plays. But I also think that as far as this year goes, 5 out of 7 games against AFC teams. You don't want to pull out all your crazy stuff against teams you never see and won't see again for years. You know what I mean? You don't want to put stuff on tape for against the Ravens, a team who was terrible. You know, you don't want to put something on tape against them that your division can use against you or something. You know, so I stand by it that the AFC slate for the Rams, we're going to be a different team now after this. You play differently based on your opponent, and we're playing against a bunch of teams we're not going to see. Again, none of these AFC teams are going to the Super Bowl, so we're not going to see any of these teams. So just get out of there as best you can. We swept the AFC 5-0. We'll just get out. Cool. Now NFC opponents the rest of the way. You're going to handle those games a little bit differently. That's just the way it is. You're probably going to handle this game a little bit differently. It's a 1-win team. It's just the way it is, you know. And then you got a couple division games back to back. Going to be different than how these games have felt. So I would say for the trick play aspect of it, I don't know. I almost feel like our jet sweeps and the way that we kind of do misdirection is our trick plays. But they're just soft sell trick plays by thinking you're going to do this, but instead it's Puka Nacua running this way. You know what I mean? So I definitely get it. I would love to see some trick plays, dude. Seeing K-Dot dipping Dotson over here catch a touchdown pass would be pinnacle, dude. That would be absolutely awesome. I absolutely love that. So yeah, I'm with you. Trick plays. It's not an earthquake. I live in Colorado. What the hell was that? Anyway, thank you for your quesos. Genuinely appreciate y'all. If you were looking for a spot to put those, let me know. They're posted on the Rams Showcase YouTube channel as well as Facebook page. Rams Saints this weekend, Sunday, televised on Fox, of course, 1:05 p.m. LA time, SoFi Stadium. If you're going to be there, take all the pictures. Love to see it, man. Absolutely love to see it. But that is going to do it for me. Make sure you follow on socials at Sheriff Joe Bags, at Ram Showcase, ramshowcase.com. First and Tuna podcast. That's on stream live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. LA time. That is on the First and Tuna podcast YouTube channel on the Rams Showcase Facebook page. But that is going to do it for me. I am Sheriff Joe Bags. This has been Rams Showcase on Sports War Radio and the Fan-Sided Network. For those of you who aren't Rams fans, our thoughts and prayers are with you. For those of you who are Rams fans, thank you so much for watching, and go Rams.